So lots of people have heard of MBTI but don't really know what it is. Julia, can you fill us in?
So MBTI, or the Myers-Briggs Type Indicator, is a very widely used way to help you understand your personality better. Possibly too widely used. I think it's very proponents of MBTI sometimes claim that it can be used for all sorts of different things, and actually what it does is quite limited. I think it does what it does very well, but I think there's a limit to how widely it should be used. So the MBTI asks a bunch of different questions, and on the basis of that, it sort of ranks you on 4 different dimensions and gives you a 4-letter code. There are 16 codes altogether, and each of those codes links to a particular personality profile. Now, in my experience, MBTI is incredibly useful as a way to enhance self-awareness. Now, it doesn't tell you anything that you don't already know about yourself, which is absolutely right and proper. A personality tool shouldn't do that. It's not a magic black box. What it does do, though, is it provides you with a framework that helps you understand yourself a little bit better. So it kind of explains why that preference links to that bit of behaviour and why you enjoy that and you don't enjoy this. I think it's at its most useful when it looks at relationships, because although it doesn't tell you anything different, anything you didn't already know about yourself, it does show you how your preferences and your style of behaviour differ from other people's. And I think as soon as you can understand and see how other people differ from you, you can start to appreciate what they bring. So I use it quite widely in team building, and I think it works extremely well there. Within a team, it's very easy to want to work with people who are just like you because you get them, you understand them, you admire their way of working. But actually within a team context, it's far more helpful to have a variety of different kinds of personality styles, but they can be irritating. So if you spend some time thinking about your MBTI profile and those are the people around you, you begin to have more appreciation of the value that they bring and how they can perhaps bring different strengths from those that you have. I use it in my career practice quite a lot for getting people to understand how things have happened in the past. So perhaps if people have made a choice that they hasn't worked out very well for them, it's quite important sometimes that they understand why that didn't work, and then that can give them confidence to think about making a choice in the future. And I find MBTI a very useful tool for helping people to understand perhaps why they didn't fit in terribly well in that team, or they didn't get on terribly well with that boss, or that profession wasn't the right one for them. But I wouldn't at all suggest that it's a useful tool for helping people to predict what job to do in the future. There are plenty of websites and books that say, oh, well, if you're an ENFP, this is what you ought to do as a job. Actually, I don't find that very helpful because I think, all sorts of different personality types can work very well in all sorts of different contexts. But I think it does what it does very effectively.